This is Lee with 82 Gamma 12 on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. It's been a while since I've produced a video over Musket Pike, the Battle of Nordlingen. I think this will be video 7. I had already taped the video 7, but I must have deleted it by accident. And so I had to make some backward movements over on the imperial left. That was the first activation that I was going to use. Piccolomini. So if we move in here a little bit, the Swedes have already had all of their activations. And so we are looking at what the that one counter's messed up. See if I can somehow get it fixed. Have to do something to it. Do I have another one? Hopefully I do. Maybe I don't. Oh yeah, there it is. So I'd already activated Piccolomini, but like I said, I must have deleted the video. I didn't actually finish his activation. I just got it started. And so when I looked at the video, my most recent video, I could tell that something wasn't right, that I had pieces that I had moved, and I'm going to cover up this sore I got, checking brakes. I was needing to check brakes and scrape my knuckle of my thumb. I want to cover that up. So let's see if I can get that. There we go. Get that light clear off. So we are, you know what this, we're going to activate Piccolomini first. And so when we do that, we have to roll to see which army commander is going to be activated. So let's make that roll. Okay, so I got a 4. On a roll of 0 to 4, King Ferdinand is activated. 5 to 9, Cardinal Infante is activated. So the thing is, Ferdinand is over here on this other side of the map. Put a block where he's at. Right there. So when he's activated, he can influence an order change if he's too far away. He can move. He can influence continuation or preemption. He can reform one unit stacked with or adjacent to the AC. The unit need not be part of the active wing. So what I would want to do is I would want to move him. And I'll have to come back, I guess, to move him. I think I have to perform order changes, things like that, before I do anything else. But we've got some units here that could, let's see, could benefit. Let's see, he's got this morale shaken unit over here. He's here. He would be close enough. He could come over here and assist there. So, but I can't do that yet. So let's come back over here to Piccolomini, and I'm going to put a white marker here. That's where he's at. Okay, and one other thing was, back here in the back, we've got this leader here, Shafalinsky. Now, the units that he was with were eliminated. So, according to the rules, 5.3.1, the leaders should be eliminated. If all the units that a leader is stacked with are eliminated, then they too are eliminated. And I don't know if there's verification about that has to be in combat, or this was as a result of combat. We had the cavalry unit that he was with, stacked with, had charged here, and then during combat had been forced back. And as a result of being forced back, they took another, because they had to go back over down this slope. And that slope, let's see, slope. Up slope, down, steep slope, still causes a formation hit. And if you've already taken a formation hit, I mean, if you're already formation broken and you take a hit, then that's a casualty instead of, it's my understanding. So, let's see here. They had reached their casualty threshold, and so they had to roll for that. And so they were eliminated. And so it doesn't say, let's see, leaders may be removed from play by fire combat, close combat, or if stacked with a cavalry unit that pursues off map. So it says a leader is automatically removed if an enemy unit occupies his hex. All units that he is stacked with are eliminated. Okay, now they were eliminated as a result of, I believe it was fire combat. So somebody want to maybe clarify that? I did put a note in the video, in the comments. I believe it was maybe video 2 at around 1 hour and 5 minutes. Around 1 hour, 5 or 6 minutes. And so I'm going to remove him, which will put Rostein, I think he becomes the new leader. So there that is. Okay, so let's come back over here to Piccolomini. And so Piccolomini is in received charge. He's a pretty good leader. He's got a -2. And he's got some guys here that he could benefit from performing a rally action. So, receive charge. Well, here we go. Okay, so a unit under received charge orders may move 1 hex, but may not move adjacent to enemy unit. A 2x unit may change facing by wheeling 1 hex, as long as at the end of its move at least 1/2 of the unit is adjacent to the hex it started in, and neither half is adjacent to enemy unit it did not start adjacent to. A unit may perform a reform action. A unit may perform a rally action if stacked with or adjacent to its wing commander. So they can perform a reform action, and if they're stacked or adjacent, they can do a rally. Now, he's only got this 1 unit here that would need to rally, but now if we just find, let's see where the rally part's at, reform and rally portions at. Okay, here we go. So, okay, so a unit that reforms or successfully rallies when adjacent to enemy unit triggers reaction fire. So they can still do that. Okay, so reform. Any unit in the activated wing under rally or receive change orders may reform. A unit in an activated wing under make ready that is stacked with or adjacent. Okay, so their receive charge may reform. So when a unit reforms, it may do one of the following. It may remove 1 formation hit. If a cavalry unit may reload 1 pistol. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So over here, this unit is going to reform. They could use pistols, but okay. And so this unit, let's get in there a little closer. This unit is going to reform. But as they do that, this unit is going to be able to fire on them, reaction fire. And let's see here. Let's see what he's got here. Okay, he's still got a pistol. And he's also got the infantry, the dragoons underneath there. So let's flip him over. I think maybe we want to save the pistols. Just let the dragoons fire. So we've got a strength of 2. Firing here. I'll put those others back on there. So this is dragoons. I believe they've got to be formation shaken too. Their cavalry is formation shaken. Let's see where that's at. Talks about being stacked. Yeah. So both units stacked in the stack suffer all formation morale hits effects. So I've got to flip them over because they would be formation shaken also. Okay. So we've got Okay, so -1. Okay, so +1 for each strength over 1. So that's with +1 and -1, so we're going to be at just straight up. And I got a 0, so they missed. All right, so we got no effect there on that. Yeah, these little bitty counters are going to play havoc with me. Let's see. I think this guy's back here. I think I had to go through here. All right. Yeah, he's gonna be there. This guy here is out of formation, plus he's broken, so really not much he can do. But as I said, now this unit can attempt, let's just pull all of it up. We're taking 2 hits, so they can attempt to go their morale shaken, but they can do a reform, but when they do, they can get fired on by that same dragoon. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to flip over to, and they don't have any, they have no pistols, and their morale shaken. So, and it's going to be the same fire. So it's just going to be no plus or minus. Roll a 2, that's going to be a miss. So, all right. This unit here could also fire. They'd be firing into the flank. Yeah, I think they want to do that. So this unit will fire. Okay, so they have strength of just 3. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter if they're firing in the flank or not. But they're going to be -1 because their formation shaken. All they can do is cause a casualty, but that unit is going to be probably on their casualty threshold. Let's see what they're... This unit's here. Keep hitting it with my finger. It was 6, so yeah. Okay, they're going to go ahead and fire. Ooh, they got a 9. -1 is an 8. That's going to be a casualty. That's a hit. So, they're now at 3. These guys are at no pistols. Of course, these guys don't have any pistols. They're ammunition, loaded pistols. All right, so they've taken 3 hits. So, let's see. Yeah, they've reached their casualty threshold, so they've got to check morale. So, okay, so they immediately lose 1 morale level.
Well, I was going to do fajitas, but I don't have any peppers.
Okay.
Pepper.
I'm not hungry.
You're not?
No.
Well, I guess I could go see what Sean wants. Did you eat something?
Yeah, breakfast. But it was like after 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we've got to roll for the morale here. They've got a 6, but their morale's shaken, so they have a 5. And I rolled a 3. So they passed. Okay. And then this unit over here, 1, 2. Let's see your command. Okay, so that can trace their command to this unit, which would go to here. So this unit here could improve their formation. So they're just morale broken. All right. So now they can attempt to, well, no, we're not quite done yet. So now we have close combat with units that want to close combat. So we've got, of course, got this unit can attack there. Morale shaken. No pistols. They don't want to attack. But this unit here will attack here. So they don't have anybody, the Swedes don't have anybody that could attack. This unit's already being attacked. So they don't have any pistols. We're going to attack here first. So all right. So we've got, but there's no reaction fire because he didn't have any pistols. So it's going to be 3 against 2. Let's see here. There we go. Close combat. We do have a leader on the attacking side, so there'll be a +1. Morale differential is 6 to 8, so that's -2. So we're at -1. Strength ratio. It's not 2 to 1, so it'll be 0. All right, we've got cavalry versus cavalry, cuirassier versus cuirassier. That's 0. They don't have pistols, and the attackers do have pistols. So now we're at 0. How are they not formation shaken. The Swedes. They should be formation shaken. So that'll be +1. Okay, so we got a +1. Rolled a 3. Attacker is morale shaken. Attacker retreat 2 hexes. Defender may advance into vacated hex. So they're shaken. And of course we got to roll for the leader casualty. Oh, okay. So shaken, retreat 2 hexes. And plus they were going uphill. So let's see what that does. I didn't add that in there. Let's see. Is a -1. So now we're at a 1 or a 2. So attacker morale broken. Right? Yeah. Attacker retreat 2 hexes. Defender may advance into vacated hex. Check for cavalry pursuit. Alright, so they're going to be formation shaken. 1, 2, morale broken. And okay, they're at their casualty. No, they didn't take a loss. So they're just morale broken. And they fired a pistol. And that little stream there, let's see what that does. Stream hexad. Stream. That's a formation hit. So now they're formation broken, and do they have a marker for that? Okay, there we go. It'll be that. And then we got to roll for casual pursuit. So they were here, they went to there. And cavalry pursuit. Defender may advance. They're under a charge order. That's +1. 7, 8. Okay, it says pursue and eliminate. And mark pursuer as formation broken. So they're going to have to go, they're going to enter. Let me just find the pursuit. Okay. Advance the cavalry unit along the retreat path into the hex occupied by the retreating unit, and then eliminate the retreating unit and capture any artillery and wagon hexes the cavalry moves through or ends in. If the retreating unit was eliminated by the combat results, leave the pursuing cavalry unit in the hex that it advanced into. Note that this pursuit movement can trigger reaction, but only at the completion of the pursuit. This includes forcing any heavy infantry unit that the pursuing unit is adjacent to at the end of an interception pursuit to attempt to form hedgehog. Okay, so they just move all the way over here to here, and they eliminate not only the leader, but the remaining Florencia cavalry unit. So that and bases. I put them on the map. Maybe you're not supposed to put them on the map, but I put them on there. So these guys are now formation broken. No pistols. Right there. And then this unit right here gets to fire. Reaction fire right there. So let's see, we got morale shaken. Pistols fired? Nope. All right, so we've got this heavy infantry unit is firing here. All right. And let's see, they could fire salvo, right? Yeah. It's only, let's see, that's, let's see which ones. Wing, back wing, okay. Only certain ones. Army of Flanders cannot. And what are they? They're not Army of Flanders, so they can fire salvo, and they're going to. There's one. Okay. So, okay, reaction fire minus moving cavalry is -1. Unit with the salvo marker, no. Advancing fire, no. Okay, so we're going to have a -1. Okay, we rolled a 3, becomes a 2. That's still a hit. Okay, so this unit here takes a hit. Put that salvo marker on here. All right, this one has a morale of 8, so their casualty threshold. I don't think they have. They don't. Let's see. Let me find it. Oh, there it is. Doesn't apply. Okay. But, however, I do need to roll for these leaders because once they're, say, okay, formation broken. Okay, so there he is. Okay, so that leader that just got eliminated, we've got to roll for him, plus we also have to roll for Shafalinski because I didn't roll for him. There's a chart here. Okay, let me pull back. So, leader casualty, leader replacement. Okay, so this is what we have to do. All right, so Shafalinski, I rolled a 2, so he's eliminated. He's gone. And then Balbasis. Of course, that dice went way off somewhere. I rolled a 5, so he's eliminated too. So, all right. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we have this other combat to take a look at. Right there. So this unit here is attacking here. They do have a pistol to use. So, well, they actually have the dragoons too. So they've taken 1 hit though. So they want to save the cavalry pistol for modifier. The dragoons will fire though. I rolled an 8. And let's see, their formation shaken, so that's -1. They get a +1 because of their strength. So that's a 0. So we got an 8, that's a hit. So they get a hit on Aldo Bernardini. They take a hit. They have a morale of 7. Okay. So they've got to do a morale check because they've reached the casualty threshold. Well, no, they haven't. They have a strength of 5. So no, they have not. Their casualty threshold is 3. All right. So now we go to the actual combat, which is not going to have anything to do with the put this guy over here. All right. Not anything to do with the dragoons. All right, so we've got 4 against 2. That's going to be 2 to 1. So that's going to be a +1. No, let's see. Attacking, defending leaders. There's no leaders in the stack. Morale differential, they're both 7 to 7. Strength, so it's a +1. And we've got cuirassiers versus cuirassiers. So the defender's going to fire their pistols. The attacker's going to fire pistols. So that evens out. So it's just a +1. No, it's more than that. Defender is shaken. So that's a +1. So now we're at +2. So we got a +2. 4 becomes a 6. Defender is morale shaken. Retreat 2 hexes. Attacker must advance. So they become morale shaken. And they've used their pistols. And they go down that slope, so they become broken. So they're both. So there are no pistols. Morale broken. Formation broken. Okay. And these guys have to turn over. They've used a pistol. And they've got to advance into this hex here. And this guy's here can fire at them. They've got pistols. They've taken 3 hits. They only have a strength of 1. So they're morale. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Maybe they can't fire. Let's see. Their morale broken. Okay, so they can't fire. So you don't have to worry about them. Okay. Now, what Piccolomini wants to do is he wants to attempt to continue. He wants to go for a continuation. And he's under receive charge. He doesn't have a very good chance. 0 to 1. Now he has a -2. Got a 6, so no. he's finished. Okay, and of course, the Swedes can't attempt to preempt because they don't have anybody left to preempt with. So we now move over to, oh, dadgummit. Over here, I didn't move Ferdinand. He would have moved, he can move 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would have moved to there. All right, I think we're gonna use Duke Charles. Over here. We're going to activate him. And we're going to try to change his orders. Let's see here. All right, so let's Duke Charles right there is going to try to, he wants to change to charge orders. And so what was I looking at? Oh, continuation. Okay, so order change, we've got receive charge, and he wants to go to charge. So he has to get between a 0 and a 3 here. And he has a plus one, a -1 on his counter. So, let's see what happens. Got a 2. So, they are changing to charge. Let's see, what is he? He's not part of the Croats. Croats. The Croats. Let's see. They have, I think they've got their own, yeah, far right. So this is the right. So they're going to go to charge. All right. We have to roll to see which Army commander is going to be activated. I got a 3. So that's going to be Ferdinand. Ferdinand's going to be activated. Also with this wing. So they have, let's see, a range. There's a range of 3. So for command, for cavalry, 1, 2, 3, and that would put all of these guys in command right here. So they will all be able to activate normally. Even this one that Ferdinand's with. All right. So okay. So we've got each unit in the active wing must perform within the limitations of its orders one of the following actions: move, and pistol fire, or pistol fire, normal infantry fire, salvo fire, artillery fire, rally, reform. So all right, so this unit here, all of these units over here, that stream though, okay, now one of the things that I was doing incorrectly had to do with pistol fire. You're not allowed to fire both pistols in the same activation. And I've been doing that. So my understanding is cavalry, say they ride up and fire their pistols. They're not allowed to then fire their pistols in combat. Let me find that. Yeah, here we go. So cavalry may undertake a movement action, then fire at any point in their movement. A separate fire action is not needed. A cavalry unit may use pistol fire without moving. A cavalry unit can only fire one pistol during a movement action. During a movement action. So does that mean they can fire during the movement action and then during the combat? I guess that's where I was a little confused. The only exception is an active unit that is intercepted may fire during the interception and then, if victorious, again in its own attack at activation. So that's the exception. So that basically is telling you that you cannot move and fire and then in your attack in the close combat fire again. Okay. So they have no pistols. And they've taken 2 hits. So someone is going to need to come to their aid. But so, all right, we're going to have this unit. It's going to move to here. And they're going to get fired on by this unit. This unit's going to fire. So their formation shaken. So that's minus 1. They are they've got a strength of 4. So that's going to be a +1. So they're looking at just being right at 0. But, see, I thought there was I guess that's only, that modifier is only over here on the infantry. Firing, reaction fire versus a moving cavalry unit. Where is that? Yeah, there it is. So it's, I guess it's only on heavy infantry. So their formation shaken, so that's -1. They get a +1 for their strength. So a 9. That's going to be a hit. And they have a, let's see, they've got a morale of 7. So they don't reach their casualty threshold until 3. Okay, so now these guys are pistols, no. All right. This unit here, is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, because that terrain. it's a stream hex side. It's +1 and it's a formation hit. So one, two, three, four. Going right into that one, that unit. Okay, so they can fire their pistols, or how did they? Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Yeah, they got a morale of 6, so yeah, they're going to fire their pistols. These guys. All right. They're going to get a +1. Nine is 10. They get a hit. And they have a strength of 5, so their threshold is 2. So they don't have to do a morale check, but they did take a hit. And I've got to roll for the leader. No. All right. They do get momentum. So I put a momentum marker on them. Maybe they should have tried to intercept. Okay. Well, then we have this unit. Okay, that village. Let's see. Town or village cost 4. And a formation hit. But they could still fire. It'd be formation broken. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they go, that would be 8. And their formation broken. And they fire. Being formation broken, that's going to be a -2. They have a strength of 4, so that's going to add +1. So it's going to be -1 to the roll. But they could actually fire. They could actually fire on them for coming. But that village is going to give a -2. Do they want to waste it? -2 plus their formation broken. No, yeah. That's going to be -4. I think they're going to hold off. Okay, so they're going to fire. So -2 plus 1. So -1. I got a 5 as a 4. That's a miss. Okay. So they fired pistols. All right. What about, let's see here, movement. He has no movement allowance. So this unit, he'll just go to there. This unit has to go up this steep slope. And for cavalry, steep slope up. Okay, it's a +1. What is the formation change? Hit. Formation hit. So, boom. 1, 2, 3. But if he goes down, he takes another hit. So he should have went around this way, probably. So this unit, 2, 3, might be 4. Formation shaken can only move half. But let's see. What is it to change the facing? Facing change. Cavalry, 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one, this leader, goes 1, and then 2, 3. Right there. Here, he's going to remove this. Ferdinand is. All right. Okay, so we're going to have, combat-wise, we're going to have here to here. Taking 2 hits. Should have moved Duke Charles back. I guess I still can. So he'll move back to there. Okay. This guy here needs to move back to get into formation. So let's see here. I think they can reverse to do it like a 380 counter march. Yeah, cost 2. I think counter march. Yeah. So they can only move half. So they can only move 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Now this unit here, I don't think they want to. They don't want to attack. This unit's attacking here. And then we've got, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put him there instead. So we've got this unit here, this unit here, this unit here. We're going to start over here. Right here. So we're going to have here and here. So he's got no pistols. He does have pistols. Okay, so first off, let's see about this stream. Okay, close combats are going to be -1 across that stream. And I think he has to be turned over. So he'd be on his formation shaken side, attacking across that stream. So all right. So, okay, no leaders. Morale differential, we've got 7 against 7. Strength, we've got 4 against 4. Matrix, okay. Cuirassiers. They don't have any pistols. Attacker is going to expend a pistol shot. So they get, there's a +1 there so far. Okay. Attacker is formation shaken, so now we're at 0. The defender is formation shaken, so now we're back to +1. We don't have cavalry momentum. All right. 9 becomes a 10. Defender is eliminated. Check for cavalry pursuit. Okay, that's going to be a +1. 6. So they would pursue and eliminate marked pursuer. But if they're already eliminated, I think they just move into the into that hex. They don't have to. Okay. So this unit here is eliminated. They move into that hex. And I think they have to become formation broken. Let's see what it says. Okay. If the retreating unit was eliminated by the combat result, leave the pursuing cavalry unit in the hex that it advanced into. Note that this pursuit movement can trigger reaction, but only at the completion of the pursuit. Okay, but it says that they have to be the defender. No. Attacker must advance into the vacated hex. Okay, so we had a pursue and eliminate. Mark pursuer as formation broken. So we'd have to be broken. And pistol shot. So this unit here has a pistol. So this unit here is going to fire on this unit. That's in their flank. They can fire there. So their formation shaken. So it'll be a -1. 0. Okay, so no effect. And now they don't have any pistols loaded. Their pistols are unloaded. All right, so that takes care of that. Next, we move to this combat here with this leader. So we've got here and here. So we've got momentum. We've got a leader. And they've taken 1 loss. They have a leader. No pistols. So Okay, so at what point? At what point do you check for leader casualties? So at the end? Okay, we're waiting to find out. All right, so here we go. We don't have any terrain modifiers on this one. So, for any attacking, defending leader, they get a plus or minus. 11, 3. Okay, so it's going to equal out. You don't use the modifiers, the numbers on the counters. You just add +1, -1. So that evens out. Morale differential, we've got 6 against 8. So now we've got a -2 to start with here. Strength, we've got 4 against 4. Close combat matrix is going to be 0. Defender doesn't have any pistols. Attacker can fire a pistol, and they do. So we'll use a pistol. Put a pistol fire shot in here. So that changes this to -1. Okay. Attacker is formation shaken. Defender is not. So now we go back to -2. Cavalry momentum is +2. So now we're at 0. So that's where we're at. Got a 6. Defender morale shaken. Defender retreat 2 hexes. Attacker must advance in the vacated hex. So the defender is morale shaken. And we've got to check for leader casualties. No. So move that back. So they've got to be, they're going to be formation shaken. 1, 2. They're now, of course, they've got no pistols. They're morale shaken. Okay. These guys will move. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah. So they move into the hex. I can actually change, face that way. And these guys right here can fire on them. And they do. So, reaction fire. Formation shaken, so -1. They have a strength of 5. So that's going to be +2. So we're at +1. They rolled a 1, so no effect. So now they've taken a pistol. They could have turned too, but they didn't. All right, next. We don't want to attack here. So then we go over here to this group. All right. So okay, so multi-hex combat. A unit may only attack one hex. However, more than one unit may attack the same hex. Combine the strengths of all attacking units attack the same hex. The modifiers most advantageous to the defender are used. Okay, so this unit here, that's slope. Let's see here. Down slope. There's no effect. Okay. So we've got, we'll lead with that guy. This guy's formation broken. And of course we've got this guy attacking, this guy attacking, and this guy. All right, so okay. There's a leader in this hex, so that's a +1. Morale differential, 6 against 7. This is actually an 8 over here, though. That, okay. That'll be a -1, so we're at 0. Strength. All right, we've got 4, that's 7 plus 5 is 12. That's going to be 2 to 1. That's a +1. Okay. So we're at +1. Close combat matrix. Okay, they don't have any pistols. For each attacking cavalry unit expending a pistol shot. Okay, they could all 3 fire pistol shots. And then also each flank and rear. So that's, we got 2 attacking from the flank. That's +2. Plus we've got +1, +1, +1. That's going to be, you can only go up to +4. So we've got +1 here. We've got a couple guys that are formation shaken. That's going to be -1. But he's formation broken. That's -2. No, +2. So we don't need to necessarily fire with everybody. We'll just fire with this guy out front. Okay. So we add the pistols here with this guy. I'll just put it right there. All right, so being formation shaken, we're at 0. Okay, we get a +1 here, +1 here. That's 2, +2. Then we get a +2 here. That's +4. We don't even have to use the pistols. So that's what we do. So we got a +4. Oh, we rolled a 0. Jeez. Attacker morale shaken. Attacker retreat 1 hex. Defender cannot advance. Wow. Now, is that all of them? Let's see. I guess it's all of them. All right, so attacker morale shaken. So they're all shaken. Jeez. They had a +4. They rolled a 0. Wow. Plus we got to check for leader casualty. And they have to retreat 1 hex. Wow. Okay. Plus, they're all going to be formation shaken. So he goes to there. Okay. This guy goes to here and becomes formation broken. And we gotta roll for leader casualty. No. All right. This guy here want to fall back to there. Morale shaken and broken. Having to go up that hill, steep slope. Wow. All right, so now we could have a attempt for a continuation with Duke of Charles. Charge. He gets a -1. Cavalry wing. They are a cavalry wing. So that's a -1. So -2. Oh, we got a 0. So they get to continue. So now let's see here. Now this unit here should have probably moved closer to the enemy. Let me check that, because he was out of command though. So let's see. Okay, so if it's not adjacent to the enemy unit, it must move as quickly as possible to place itself back in command. If adjacent to an enemy unit, it may remain where it is or move back into command. So it's not in command yet. Well, yeah, I guess it could be. Let's see. It's in command now because, well, let's see. Here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2. Okay, so it would be in command now. So it would have to move toward the closest. So, yeah. All right, so we don't want to change orders. We want to continue to attack where we can. Um, some of these guys are not going to be able to attack. Maybe we want to change. Yeah, I think we want to change to, we need to be able to change and improve our formation. So Duke of Charles here is going to attempt it, but first we have to roll to see whether King Ferdinand is activated this time or it's Infante. And it's King Ferdinand again. So he does get activated. And then this is Duke Charles. So I think we do an order change here. So he's at charge. I think if we go make ready, what can we do under make ready? Make ready. Unit may move, but may not move adjacent. Okay. Wing commander may perform a reform action on it, but not a rally action. We could do a receive charge. Receive charge. We've got a better chance of getting a make ready. So let's go with the make ready. -1, he got a 7, so he can't change. So he's stuck with the charge. So, okay, first thing we're going to do, this unit here is going to fire their pistols at this unit here. So this unit is firing here. I guess I could, where's the red one at? This unit here's firing at this target. So they have, let's see, what are this? I think they don't have any, yeah, there are no pistols. So -1 for, well, formation broken, I think it's -2. Yeah. Okay, so -2 +1 for the strength. So they're at a -1. Got a 9, it's an 8. That'll be a hit on this unit. They have a morale of 8. So I don't have to do the check morale. And now they are no pistols. All right. And then here, it's going to fire here. So -2 +1, we're going to have a -1 on this one. 5, 4 is a miss. So they go to no pistols. This unit here, no pistols, so they can't fire. And so, let's see here. This unit's morale shaken. Let's see what is their limitations. They move at half, so they would have to move. They're going to have to move to here. So they move to there. They're going to hold off firing because they want to use their firepower on the attack. These guys here don't have pistols, but they're going to go 1, 2 right here into his flank. This unit is going to turn and go right here. Ferdinand is going to go there. Didn't even see what was going on here. This guy moved to here. This guy who was here moved up to there. This guy was here with Ferdinand, moved to here. Ferdinand moved right there. Now, this unit is going to get momentum. He came in there. So he's got momentum into the flank. And let's see here. No, they don't want to go across that river. Okay. Now, these guys can't, they have to turn to attack. So we've got here, here, and here. This guy has no pistols. So here's where our attack's coming from. Lead unit, I guess, is what you might call it. And they're attacking this guy who is formation broken. Okay, so we've got no leader. Morale differential. He's a 7. We've got a 7/7, so that's 0. Strength. We've got 4. 4 and 5. Morale shaken. Let's see about that. All right, so their morale is actually a 7 too. But we've got 5, 4, and 4. That's 17. That's 3-1. We don't have a 3-1. So it's going to be a +1. So right now we've got a +1. Defenders didn't have pistols. This unit here is going to fire pistols, but I don't think it's going to be necessary because we're going to get formation broken is going to add 2, and then the flank attacks are going to add 2, and then the momentum is going to add 2. So we're going to be at a +4. 5 becomes 9. So defender eliminated. Attacker must advance into the vacated attacks. Check for cavalry pursuit. So this unit is gone. We can remove this. And we're going to move this guy in there. Turn him right like that. These guys will just be right where they're at. Well, I guess we can roll just to see. Break off, so. All right, so that takes care of that. Now we could roll for another continuation. Of course, he's going to have a +1 now. He has a -1, and then because he's a cavalry wing, another -1. So continuation. Okay. Got an 8, so he doesn't continue. So he's going to be finished. We can flip Charles over. All right, we'll stop right there and pick up with the next activation. Afterwards. So what we have is we've got the Croats back over here that have to activate. We've got the center, and then we have the Albush. Albuk. The Albuk or Albush. I guess it might be like church. Albush. Albuch. 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 Maybe. So, historically, I don't believe that the Swedes really did much over there. It was kind of just stalemate for the most part. Most of the fighting was over here, and of course, the Swedes just didn't have the manpower to launch an effective assault against such a strong defensive position with the steep slopes and the entrenchments and so forth over here. So. And I'm sure I'm probably getting some rules still wrong. I don't know, for some reason this is a game that I have a very difficult time remembering to apply all the different little rules that need to be applied. I just have a hard time, I guess, wrapping my brain around a lot of the rules and remembering to apply them. So if you see some things that I'm doing incorrectly, be sure and point them out, because this helps other people when they're playing to do things correctly. And I still haven't made it through a one turn yet. We're still on turn 1 with a lot of things going on here. And I guess the Imperials could just pass, and then you would move to the next turn. But they've got units that they need to rally. And Infante could move from his position, which is right here. He hasn't had a chance to do anything. He could be moving over here to the Al Bouch hill and help to rally these units that are shaken. They don't really want to attack. They want to stay put. And I'll just let the Swedes try to batter through the over the steep slopes and through the entrenchments that you can see one right here, but there's entrenchments here and all along this facing here, and of course right here and the side there. So this area here is no entrenchment there. This is a very interesting period of history. Of course, you've got Gustavo is no longer around, and the Swedes are suffering as a result of losing their overall commander. But I think they really made a mistake in attempting to attack as they did. They just don't have the strength needed to attack a defensive position as strong as this. Now, maybe Ferdinand and Duke Charles made a mistake in attacking over here and charging, but they have a very strong defensive position here. They've got this second and third line here, and all of this artillery here that has yet, let's see, well, all of this artillery that is yet to fire, and really may not have much of a target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, they can fire there, but it's not going to be grazing. It's just going to be regular artillery fire. So, but they do have some doubles. There's a double right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not going to be grazing. The Swedes just don't have the forces. And I even included the extra forces, which are this unit. I believe it's this unit. Maybe this unit back here. I think these units that have the black band, most of those were some forces that didn't arrive until a couple of days later, I think, or a day or something later. and you can just look at the map and look at the counters. You have to realize that this is gray here, not the blue. All right, so these units here, all of these units here, are part of the Imperial forces. There's nothing back here. You know, they don't have a reserve, and the front line is not that strong. That's a 17 there, a 16. This guy, I guess, did he get? Yeah, he must have got formation shaken. How did that happen? How did he get formation shaken? It would have affected, maybe, you know, I don't know. I have to go back and look at that to find out why did he get formation shaken. Is it because he was fired on? I think so. Okay. The Swedes just don't have enough to push through this and then this here. There's 2 lines of cavalry units here. You know, they may not have, you know, that strong of a morale, 6s, but, you know, that's strength of 5 for most of these, strength of 4, 3, well, not 5 for most of them, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them have strength of 5. I think it's better to do a feint here and then push hard on this side to try to get around into the backside of these units and cause them to pull back, especially off of that hill there, and let them have some formation hits. And that would mean you would have to try to attempt to change your charge order at the very beginning to maybe a received charge. And let's see how that would work. I do really wish they had put a lot of this morale on a chart, or, you know, the information on one of these charts here. So change orders, you're at charge and you want to go to like make ready. You wouldn't want to go to really rally, but if you have a strong leader, maybe you could have done that, but you could go to make ready. And with a strong leader of -2, which they didn't have that. They had Shafalinsky. Well, he had a 0. But if he was stacked with, say, Horn, then that would be a -1. You have a 50% chance, I guess. Yeah. To change. But changing to receive from charge cavalry wing to receive charge is a +1. But this is a part of history that I don't really know that much about. Really wasn't something that I ever taught, nor in the classes I took in college. And I guess it's because it's a European and not an American conflict. You know, it's taken place before, it's taken place, I guess, at a point where you've got, you don't really have the United States. You've got maybe some colonies being established, but so when you're in the United States, your focus is more on United States history. And if you deal with the European history, it's mainly if it's connected somehow to the forming of the United States or the United States being involved. And so it's just something that I, as an individual, will need to read about the history so I can learn more about who was involved and the different individuals and the different armies and so forth, and also the politics that's involved, the reasoning for the fighting and so forth, which has a lot to do with religion. So you've got the Catholics and the Protestants versus the Protestants, basically. So, but a very interesting time in world history with tactics, weapons changing. And I just need to do some research so that I can better understand what's happening. And that's what these games should do. They should spark an interest in the history and the people involved, why they were fighting, what the result of the battle was, and how it impacted not only the people but the political situation or the religious situation of the times. At one point, Sweden was a very powerful country. And then, of course, their power diminished greatly, and they were not so much a threat or even wielded any kind of dominance on the world stage. So we're still in turn one, and we've got, let's see, we've got the Albuch to activate, the center to activate, and then the Croats to activate. So three more activations in this turn, which there could be pass, and pass. But I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to want to do something here. We're going to want to fire at these units, especially over here. They're going to want to fire and use their, of course, they don't have salvo, I don't believe. If they're Army of Flanders, they don't have the salvo. So let's see what we see here with the yeah, let's see here. Albuch or Albuch. Yeah, they're Army of Flanders. Most of them. So they don't have salvo. But let's see. Yeah, most of them don't have. Miser. Yeah, Army of Flanders. So, yeah, they don't have the ability to do a salvo. I believe that, isn't that right? I think, let's see. I think that was at the beginning of this. Somewhere. Where's the special rules? Yeah. Army of Flanders may not use salvo fire. All right, we'll come back and see what happens in the next video. We'll still be on turn 1.